I mean, Manchester City, these guys are always active in the market. And I can't lie, I'm kind of jealous of the next two deals that they may be getting done, especially since I'm an Arsenal fan and I absolutely would love to see Rodrygo, one of the names in my team. But yeah, we'll talk Manchester City, we'll talk Donnarumma, we'll talk all that good stuff because a lot has happened over the past few days. So if you are new here and a Man City fan, this is the place. I'm going to be talking about you guys all season, analysing your game. So hit that subscribe. And of course, hitting the like is always greatly, greatly appreciated. But yeah, let's start with the Donnarumma stuff because I'm not going to lie, I thought James Trafford coming in, it was pretty simple for City. They'd have Trafford, they'd have Ederson, and they'd of course have, I think, Bettinelli is now the third choice keeper. And I thought, okay, they'll keep it like that, a nice little cohort of keepers. You've got experience in Ederson, you've got Trafford in youth and sort of experience as well in terms of how many minutes he's already played for such a young keeper at senior level. Is kind of crazy. So I thought, they've got this guy in, they should be fine. But no, it seems as though we've got an interesting development in this file because Donnarumma has become available for transfer. And apparently Manchester City have been major fans of Donnarumma for a while. And I'll put in the description the sources that I use in this video. So Fabrizioromano is one of them. Said City have been a massive fan of Donnarumma for a while. And it wouldn't surprise him if they went in for a deal and they're actually in a situation where they've genuinely agreed terms for Donnarumma. And for me, I don't want to see Donnarumma at Manchester City. This guy, the saves he can make is just unreal. One of the things with Manchester City is you always know as a team that's going away to the Etihad, you'll get 2 shots, you'll get 3 shots maybe. You got to make those count. And over the past couple of seasons, those 2-3 shots have actually been going in. So that's why we've seen a bit of a downfall for Manchester City. Those 2-3 shots, Ederson used to save them, used to deal with them. The defense would be on hand. But now they're starting to go in. So somebody like Donnarumma, we know how good a shot stopper this guy is. He's unreal. I mean, I saw him do it against Arsenal in the Champions League, my club, and I was just so frustrated. He was saving some ridiculous shots. He's always seems to be at the right place in the right time at the right moment, and it's literally so frustrating. So imagine Manchester City have this guy who can pull out ridiculous saves at any moment. A lot of the goals they conceded in the last 2 seasons, which has led to their defensive decline, won't be happening. And that's the same with Trafford, an unreal shot stopper as well. A younger profile. That won't happen too. So Manchester City are building 2 goalkeepers who aren't the world class on the ball as the Edersons of this world, the Ryers and the Allisons, but they're damn well good shot stoppers. And ultimately in football, what's the job of a keeper? Let's keep it simple. What is the job of the keeper? It's to prevent the opposition scoring. Yes, it's great if you can do the on-the-ball stuff. And also with this on-the-ball stuff, I've seen Donnarumma play for PSG, a team that are possession heavy. He's not bad. He's not awful. He can do what is necessary. He's not going to do extravagant passes into spaces like Ederson, or he's not going to pin one into the centre forward's feet as much as you would like him to, but he can play around. He's used to it. He's been in possession heavy sides before. So this idea that he'll come in and he'll be like an awful keeper at his feet is so far-fetched. And in the event he is, and he really is struggling, you've got Trafford, who at Burnley, they play out from the back. Manchester City, he'll be used to it. He was at City. He'll know how Pep wants to play as a keeper. He can adjust. So just having multiple options will elevate Manchester City. This is the best thing about being a big club. You can be, greedy with the options you have. No one's going to sit there and scold you for having Donnarumma and Trafford because ultimately they're good keepers to have. They're keepers that can certainly get you guys again up there, winning the Premier League, winning the Champions League, winning those major honours. But it kind of did shock me that Manchester City have already agreed sort of personal terms with Donnarumma. And of course, Fabrizioromano did see and also mentioned that Ederson needs to go. I think I didn't mention that in this video, but yes, obviously Ederson would need to go. Galatasaray are interested in him. Donnarumma's price is 50 million euros. City think that's way too expensive. I think 35 will be enough for Donnarumma. And you're getting that for 35. Donnarumma, that's a steal. Manchester City always know to be at the right place at the right time. But I do wonder if, Donnarumma had become available a bit earlier, would City have signed Trafford? It would have been quite interesting to know how Manchester City would have gone about things. And Ortega's still there, so he would have to leave. But this is what I like. City do stuff without the outgoings happening. My club, Arsenal, we want to get Eze, we want to get Leao, we want to get these wingers, but we're waiting for the Trossards and Light to leave. As a big club, you can't do that. You've got to act. We're seeing Tottenham taking our Eze from us, and City won't let their Donnarumma go just because they can't shift an Ederson. This is why they're at the top for such a while. And it doesn't even stop there. The Rodrygo news just threw me off completely, because Arsenal's reliable sources have been saying Rodrygo is a top target, a top somebody that Arteta admires. And to see City and Guardiola pushing, yes, the word is pushing, from Fabrizioromano for this deal, it hurts. You know, I genuinely believed at one point this summer that Rodrygo would be an Arsenal player with Eze. I had that dream, but in what hours it's just been taken away from me. But what I can tell you about Rodrygo, he's a player that I've been following for such a while, genuinely been following for such a long time. He's top. You know, and I see so many people just dissing him, going at him, saying this guy's rubbish. What? Rodrigo Goes is rubbish. I cannot believe that. You know, I get it. He's not going to be your world beater on the touchline, but his combination play, his killer instincts in the box, is what makes him world class. You give Rodrigo a chance in the box, or a 1v1 that you were giving Savinho, he'll score. No doubt about it. And I see a lot of City fans frustrated with Savinho in terms of the amount of shots he has per game and the lack of killer and clinical instincts in his game. You won't have to worry about that with Rodrigo. Guardiola is a big fan for a reason. Guardiola is not a big fan of a player without good reason. And we've seen what Rodrigo has done in the biggest of games. And a lot of people will point towards his goals and assist tally at Real Madrid and say Savio had more. Let's have a bit of respect here for Rodrigo. You know, there is something about playing with so many good players. And I'm not saying City haven't already got so many good players at their club, but at Real Madrid it's different. The share of the load isn't the same. There's always Vinny there that will have more minutes and better opportunity to express himself. There'll always be a Mbappe there. There was a Benzema too. Rodrigo shifted to the right. Give this guy 38 games on the left wing in Manchester City's system, where he can come inside as well and be dynamic and get shots off. Rodrigo scores 15 plus goals in the Premier League. For Manchester City, he does that. With what, 7, 8, 9 in the Champions League as well, with the new format, with a couple assists, 10 assists as well. Because one of the underrated parts of Rodrigo's game is he's a top quality creator. You know, there's even a compilation I did on my Twitter, at TM Talksport, if you don't follow already, where I just focused on Rodrigo receiving in central areas and driving on the ball and creating. He was making stuff happen. He was quite literally making stuff happen in those central areas. You know what I mean? And that sort of level of player who's able to turn it on centrally, able to turn it on the wing in terms of combinations. You know, and I even forgot to mention, Rodrigo's poor on the touchline if he hasn't got an overlapping fullback. Nuri is perfect for the way Rodrigo is as a player. He can get on the overlap, he can get on the underlap. The rotations can happen. Nuri can hold the width, Rodrigo can be inside. Rodrigo can hold the width, Nuri can be inside. There's so many ways Manchester City can go about this. So I genuinely believe Donnarumma and Rodrigo in, Savio and Ederson out is an upgrade in terms of Manchester City's squad.